What's up everyone, Op Soldier here. Just wanted to quickly talk about Mileena and some common misconceptions of Mileena. So, first I want to talk about why do we play certain characters? What are our characters' game plans? Because the big issue that Mileena seems to have, and a lot of people get this misconception of her, is that she's supposed to do these things that don't benefit her. Like, for instance, a great example is simply Mileena's forward 4 high size string. Now, a lot of people will tell you, oh, well, that does a lot of chip. Oh, well, that's a good move. You know, it resets neutral. But what does this accomplish? What does this accomplish? So we know that it does chip. We know it resets neutral. We know she loses a bar of offensive meter. We know that Mileena's moves don't reach very far. We know that her pokes don't reach very far. She basically has to roll to do any type of, you know, mind games from mid-range. So, if you haven't figured it out by now, basically what I'm saying is this type of combination is shit. It doesn't do anything for Mileena. It doesn't help her at all. It just helps her reset neutral. But her neutral isn't even that good. Now, this is extremely important when you pick a character, because I think sometimes people forget why characters are played the way that they are. For example, Mileena, we all know by now that Mileena basically Stabby allows her to basically loop your opponent over and over again, right? Same thing with Fatal Blow. Fatal Blow allows you to loop your opponent over and over again. So why would we use a string like this to reset neutral? The thing is, we wouldn't. There's no point of this string. There's no point of doing this string to reset neutral. Our goal is to loop our opponent as many times as possible. Which leads me to my next point. Extended strings are shit. These don't do anything for Mileena. Even this string, if you hit it, you don't get any type of Oki. Stabby gives you Oki. Doing a combo like back 1-1 gives you Oki, allowing you to mix your opponent up again with back 1-1 or Stabby. These things, they don't do anything. They make Mileena way worse. High side prevents your opponent from coming to you if you don't have the life lead. And, what was I gonna say? Regular ball roll is good and all. It's good in the neutral, but if you want to whiff punish your opponent, Rolling Thunder is better because you can basically whiff punish them from this range. If they throw a high projectile from here, you can literally whiff punish them from that range. So let me just quickly touch on why I think that Mileena players don't play Mileena correctly. And this is all my opinion, right? People can play their character any way they want, but I just, from my experience so far with the few hundred hours I've put into Mileena, this is what I've kind of learned. And I'm taking some of this info from Foxy, because I've heard Foxy kind of say the same thing. Her extended strings are all unsafe. Her forward 4-3 grab is an unsafe string. It's -8. It can still be punished. You shouldn't be using any of those strings. You should be using forward 4, back 1-1, down 1, you know, all of her pokes basically. 1-1. 1-1's a good stagger on its own. And forward 1, right? Forward 1. Forward 1-2. Those are good strings to use in the neutral. Everything else it's all busy work. It's all shit that doesn't lead to what you want to do as Mileena. And what you want to do as Mileena is you want to loop them as many times as you can. That's pretty much all you need to be doing with Mileena. Looping them and zoning them. Zoning them when they're not close, when you don't have offensive bar, because remember, Mileena can only combo off of her offensive bar unless she does a crushing blow throw as a punish. So you want to space out your opponent when you don't have bars of offensive meter, and high side is not going to do that. If your opponent has more health than you, high side is not going to prevent your opponent. It's not going to force your opponent to come to you. Low side will, and it low profiles projectiles, so you can flawless block the projectiles and low profile them with low side. Now, ultimately, the reason why I say all of this is because I feel like there's a lot of misconception on how Mileena should be played. And Foxy has said this himself. The extended strings are bad. You should be using loci to get your opponent to come to you, because you want you want to press your opponent around this range. This range is shit for Mileena. This range is okay for Mileena, and this range is really good for Mileena because it allows you to do your 50-50, and your opponent cannot option select your throw because you've got a 10 frame mid. That is simply how you play Mileena. There's nothing else. There's nothing else. Forward 1 to anti-air, stand 1 to anti-air, ball roll to anti-air. But that's how you play Mileena. There's nothing. You loop. You just keep looping with back 1-1 and stabby. There's no other way to play her. And you zone with loci. That's it. That's literally it. She's a high risk reward character, and you play her like a crazy person. That's it. You keep looping and you keep looping and you keep looping until they read you. But anyway, I'm out. That's all I wanted to really talk about, because I just feel like a lot of people don't play Mileena right. And I think that's why they say that she's shit tier. Don't get me wrong, there's characters that do what Mileena does but better. Garrus, Kotal, they all do that better. But I think the reason why people think Mileena is just really, really bad is they don't really look at what her playstyle is meant to do. They look at her stubby range and they just assume that she's bad because she has bad range. But when you look at her as a whole, you can tell that all of her moves are meant to loop your opponent over and over and over again and play the wake up system. But anyway, I'm out. I'll see you guys later. Subscribe for more.